Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for coming to this event. My name is Feduccia, and it's a great honor to be speaking before you all today. I'm ecstatic to discuss our paths and give you a further understanding of who Mark, Hunter, and I are. I would like to offer a few key insights into my background, my upbringing, and also why I choose to work in this industry. You also see how we share common perspectives and philosophies for the firm, while bringing in different strengths to operate efficiently. To offer a clearer sense of what drives my work in this industry and my motivation to get up every day and service our clients, I want to step back into my younger self and share a bit of background on how it all started with an opportunity. I have a somewhat unique adoption story, one that's probably quite different from what you might typically expect. Until the age of 13 to 14, I lived with my birth parents, when suddenly I was told that I was going to be staying at my grandparents' for a little while. The reason I later found out was that my birth parents cannot financially afford to house me, let alone themselves. After staying at my grandparents' for a couple of weeks, one of my close friends and family that I knew well offered to let me stay with them. I jumped at the offer like any other 13 to 14-year-old kid would. I get to have constant sleepovers with one of my best friends over and over again. I was told that this would be temporary until my mom got back on her feet, but I didn't realize how this change would impact my entire life so vastly. Turned out that this adopted family would end up becoming my family from that point forward. This was the opportunity that set the tone of how I would carry myself moving forward. I wanted to maximize the opportunity of getting a second chance at having a stable family. But it wasn't just about becoming part of a stable family. This shift also shaped the way I approached life as a whole. They've always treated me as their own, had the same expectations regarding school, chores, family meals. These are not things I was used to. That didn't scare me away. I did not want to disappoint them. From that point on, I was not going to take opportunities given to me for granted. In fact, I've come to realize one of my core passions is seeing an opportunity through to its fullest potential. And that is what I did. I was accepted and offered the opportunity to attend the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where my entire adopted family went as well. Neither of my birth parents went to college or got a secondary degree in anything. I knew this was a chance to improve my life, and here is where I found my passion and desire for personal finance. When deciding my major, I always knew I wanted to do something in business, and particularly numbers related, so I was always good at math in school. This naturally led me want to study finance. But when I heard about the major in personal finance, it instantly clicked and drew me in. I found a way to bring together my natural strength in math and analytical thinking, while also drawing on my family's financial instability. I saw this career field as a chance to provide meaningful work and to become the kind of person my family could have benefited from having. As I delved into this major of personal finance, I was able to learn a lot from the program. It was CFP accredited, so I was gaining knowledge that would pertain specifically towards the CFP exam. An all-encompassing financial planning test that goes over topics of investing, risk management and insurance, retirement and income planning, tax planning, estate planning, and ethics. And so, I was able to get a wide range of industry knowledge through my program. But one of the most important things I learned is the difference in financial advisory services and ways to service and get paid by clients. I got to understand early on the differences between fee-only and fee-based models. Fee-only the way in which Kuhn Advisors chooses to operate. Advisors can only be paid by the clients, meaning we cannot collect commission for selling a product, whether it's insurance or an investment vehicle, while fee-based can receive that commission. And as you can imagine, you can incur some conflicts of interest that could persuade an advisor to sell a product that does not meet the client's needs. I gravitated towards a fee-only model instantly. It didn't make sense to me that in a service industry, you weren't always putting the client's needs first. And this is something I took heavily into my consideration for applying for jobs. I was looking for a fiduciary advisor that put their client's needs first. And honestly, hard to believe that other service models exist and that people unfortunately buy into. I've had my own experience with this while I was in college. I received a call from one of my high school friends telling me that he was in the process of building his own financial practice. He explained that he had a great internship that was giving him the freedom to reach out to people and find potential clients. I had a sense of where he was going with this because I was familiar with the company he was working for. I wanted to let him give his spiel. Towards the end, he finally asked if I or anyone else I knew would be interested in purchasing life insurance. Now, I didn't say something like, who would I even put as a beneficiary of my life insurance? Or who relies on me? I just told him no, not interested. He didn't know anything about my personal finances, but still, he felt confident enough to try to sell me life insurance. In our world at Kuhn Advisors, this strategy he imposed would seem foreign to us. No questions about the need for life insurance, just straight into selling a product or giving a recommendation. We absolutely want to have more care in gathering information from the client before even considering providing a recommendation. It just goes to show the wide range of services you can get from someone who proclaims to be a financial advisor. And I've experienced this in other financial advisory practices as well, that also just did not resonate with me. For example, in my search process, I landed an internship in my senior year of college that had the potential to lead to a full-time offer following my graduation. It was a larger firm with about 100-ish employees and at the time about $4 billion in assets under management. One of the tasks they had me do as an intern was to email a batch of clients to reschedule their meeting with their advisor. I had never met with these clients and they had no idea who I was. I also wasn't told the reason why. And in the email template I was given to send to the client, there was no mention of any reason why. A few clients eventually asked, why did they need to be rescheduled? Coworker finally told me that these clients are going to be sold and become clients of another advisor. This rubbed me the wrong way. I had a hard time understanding how it got to this point and why these clients were accepted. They're not going to be given the same care and attention as everyone else. I knew I was going to have to look further for a full-time opportunity following my graduation. Thus, finding an opportunity at Kuhn Advisors. During the interview process, I was able to get a good sense of the type of firm Kuhn Advisors was, and knew it was going to be the right place for me early on. I was interviewed on 3 separate occasions. One was just a quick hour behavioral interview over Zoom. The second one, Kuhn Advisors actually flew me out to visit their office and present a case study analysis. The last interview had me meet the entire team and get to know all of them, as well as them getting to know me. This interview process showed me the intentionality, due diligence, and care that went into adding someone to the team. I also noticed that whenever I had any questions outside of the formal interview, someone got back to me quickly and was extremely helpful. So I could only see the way they treated me as just a potential employee. I could only imagine how well they treated clients with this exact care and more. I had a chance to experience this even more deeply in my first few days at Kuhn Advisors, particularly through my interactions with Mark. Mark, during my first few days, sat with me elbow to elbow and walked me through everything that would help me succeed. This is also my first couple of weeks of living in Durham. So, as any boss would, he took me right from the office, put me in his car, and drove me around the area to help familiarize me. And again, it was this reflection of the level of care and capacity for employees that I would later recognize was how clients were treated and beyond. It was an instant bond, a bond I wanted to be a part of and one I aspired to offer to clients in the same way. And so it has been. I've gotten the opportunity to embody and expand further on this intimate, multi-layered relationship with clients. From rebalancing a portfolio or creating an in-depth analysis of their holistic financial plan, to traveling across state lines to assist in selling real estate. Cliche, but every day is truly different and brings about new challenges. And this is something that energizes me, the same way that energizes Mark, getting to learn and expand our breadth of knowledge every day. In just under 2 years at Kuhn Advisors, I've engaged with daily investment decisions and recommendations, creating financial plans, creating and revising advisory agreements and investment policy statements, reviewing 529 plans and education analysis, selecting investments and employer retirement plans, and conducting research on all types of investments. And one area I just want to touch a little bit deeper on is our investment process and philosophy. As I stated before, I handle the day-to-day investments, whether it's selling assets to raise some cash to send to one of you for a house remodel, or buying funds with the money that has been deposited into the account. But this isn't just my brain working here. Yes, the physical aspect of picking which assets to buy or sell is me, but the philosophy behind it is rooted from all three of us. We have collaborated together to create these investment models that are catered to each and every one of you. We even frequently meet with the portfolio managers of the mutual funds we use. This allows us to conduct continued due diligence into our managers, get a deeper insight into what has taken place recently. And just like our philosophy of long-term investing, when some of our managers are down or out of favor in certain moments, we don't want them to jump ship and hop on the new hot investment trend or chase headlines. We want them to stick to their discipline that is time-tested, has worked over long periods. So our job when meeting with them is to make sure that this is still the case. We also meet internally on a monthly basis for our investment committee meeting to discuss investment performance, review any changes that could be made, and converse on the current investment environment. Now I want to refer back to Jay's speech and specifically to investor bias. Our goal is to take that bias away from you to help you make better and informed decisions. But in the same manner, we also maintain an ongoing internal dialogue to remove any of our own potential biases in investment decision making. Beyond the work I've done so far and learned about up until now, recently Mark has pushed me to develop a better understanding of our outsourced IT and, more importantly, our cybersecurity. Cyber threats are quickly becoming one of the most dangerous risks we face in the financial services industry. My goal is to ensure we are protected internally and that our clients' accounts are fully protected as well. Cybersecurity is an ever-changing dynamic that requires constant care, so I feel placing myself here is appropriate as I can be adaptive and attentive to new trends or threats. All of these opportunities keep showing me day by day that is exactly where I want to be. I can improve my skills, expand in my role, and provide top-tier service, all at the same time. Now I want to leave you with one client story as well as some closing regards. And this client story stands out to me as it highlights the work that we do and the extra mile we are willing to go. It involves an unfortunate situation with a married couple where the husband passed away. What makes this even more difficult is that the husband was what we call the financial spouse. He took care of all the finances, and the widow had no clue about any of their assets, where things were being spent from, or where even money was. Mark knew this was the case and stepped in and provided a lot of assistance to this client and brought me along to help as well. Watching Mark through these things, I understood the lengths it takes to get some of these things done, and I admired this, and I naturally connected with this. And so, I took it upon myself to model my aid in a similar manner. I've gone to visit her numerous times to help her handle her bills. I've taken her to the bank on multiple occasions. I've even held hour-long phone calls with federal credit bureaus to unfreeze her credit. And now, when she receives emails from those federal credit bureaus saying that her credit score has gone up, she forwards the email to me and says her Feduccia score has gone up. And these are not typical things financial advisors do for their clients. They're not something you'll find in a description of a job posting, but they're the things we find necessary to provide good service. And the best part is, this is not burdensome work for us. We thrive on going the extra mile, helping our clients in any way we can. I'm grateful to have the opportunity my adopted family has given me, being able to study and get my degree from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and now being able to serve all of our clients in a fiduciary manner. I may not know all of you yet, but I would love to meet with all of you, learn all of your stories firsthand, and connect on a deeper level. I hope I have successfully communicated a clear understanding of where I come from and why I want to become a steady, trusted presence that can support real change in your lives, much like my adopted family has done for me. Thank you.